Take a moment to arrive. Let the noise of the day soften at the edges. You are simply listening now, resting inside your own awareness. Here in Within Stillness Space, you are not asked to push harder or become someone new. You are simply invited to soften, to listen, and to remember the quiet power that has always lived within you. As you journey through these words, let them meet you gently, at the pace of your own breath. You were told that only the busy are worthy, that only the tireless and relentless succeed. You ran with that story. You filled your days with effort, your mind with plans, your inner world with pressure, until you forgot what it felt like to pause and breathe without trying to become anything. Here, a different rhythm appears. The most powerful movements often begin in quiet. There is an order underneath all doing that reveals itself when you stop forcing and step aside. Stillness is not the lack of activity. It is the presence of alignment. There comes a point when the conscious mind has done enough. The vision is clear. The feeling has been felt. The seed has been planted. Beyond that point, more effort does not help. The work shifts from managing and checking to trusting, not in a date on a calendar, but in a deeper current. In a world that celebrates noise and hustle, this can feel unnatural. Everything around you seems to reward exhaustion. Yet underneath that noise, there is a quiet pulse, timeless, steady, that knows how to move things into place. It does not answer panic. It responds when you listen. Imagine a seed in a carefully tended garden. The soil is rich, the water just enough. You do not shout at it to grow or dig it up every morning to see if anything is happening. You trust that unseen processes are at work. In the same way, once a desire is impressed into the deeper mind with clarity and feeling, the inner machinery begins to move quietly, wisely, without hurry. From there, your part is less about doing and more about being. Still, open, available. This is not passivity. It is a kind of inner mastery. The restless part of you wants to prove worth through constant action, and fears that stillness means falling behind. Another part of you is not afraid of silence. It knows how to wait without panic, how to allow without collapsing. In that pause, many of the most meaningful shifts in life arise, not while you are forcing, but when you are open and surrendered, when you are no longer pushing against everything. It can be unsettling to consider that effort itself might be blocking what you want. If desperation is the loud message within you, then the signal being sent is lack. Stillness, on the other hand, carries the quieter message of trust. You are not lazy when you rest. You are not failing because you pause. You are preparing the field. Creation has a rhythm. Inhale and exhale. Tension and release. Action and stillness. When you live only one half, always inhaling, always tensing, always acting, you eventually suffocate your own becoming. When you can ignite your vision with intensity and then wait with peace, your inner world becomes fertile ground. Life begins to rearrange itself in ways that seem almost gentle. Some people appear lucky, but often they are simply in tune with this deeper current. They move when movement is natural, and they rest when it is time to trust. Pause here for a moment. Notice your own rhythm of doing and allowing. Stillness opens a different quality of listening. It also changes how words touch you from the inside. You may have heard many times that repeating a phrase will make it come true. Say it until you believe it. Affirm it until it appears. Perhaps you have stood before mirrors, whispered before sleep, or repeated phrases on long walks. You may have spoken words of abundance, health, and love again and again. And yet, you might be wondering why it sometimes feels like nothing changes. Why do certain affirmations feel empty? Why does the repetition start to sound hollow? The reason is simple. Words by themselves do not shape your reality. The energy behind them does. 1,000 phrases spoken from tension cannot equal one sentence spoken from quiet certainty. The deeper mind does not respond to effort. It responds to feeling. It listens to the tone beneath the words, to the subtle vibration in the heart. Imagine yourself in stillness. Thoughts have slowed. There is no need to control anything. In that quiet, you gently speak. I am safe. I am ready. All things come to me with ease. Everything I need is already on its way. You are not forcing belief or hunting for a sign. You simply let the words resonate, like a soft chime in clear air. In that moment, the phrase is not an argument. It is a recognition. Real affirmations are not about convincing the world. They are reminders of what a deeper part of you already knows, that you are whole, guided, worthy. Noise, fear, and other people's opinions can make you forget. Speaking these truths is a way of remembering. When you remember, your inner world comes back into harmony. There is a subtle shift from trying to be something to recognizing what has always been there. The signal you send to life changes. This is who I am. This is what I allow. This is what I choose. The most potent affirmations are often quiet. They are carried by presence and sincerity, not volume. The subconscious is not a machine to be programmed by sheer repetition. It is more like a sensitive field, deeply impressionable, responsive to gentleness and clarity. You can think of it as a child that does not need complicated speeches. It needs safety, calm, and simple, steady truths. I am enough. I am loved. I allow abundance. All things work together for my highest good. Said once with your whole being, such a sentence can ring through your inner world like a bell. In this way, each aligned phrase becomes a seed. And again, seeds grow in silence and time. They don't respond to shouting. They respond to the quality of the soil. Here, the soil is your emotional state. When you affirm, there is no need to perform. Feel. Breathe. Let the words sink into the quieter layers of your heart. Then carry on with your day as if they are already at work. You might be wondering how this connects with the rest of your life, especially when your everyday reactions seem to contradict your affirmations. It is common to speak peace in the morning and meet panic later, to affirm abundance yet complain about lack, to declare trust and then question every delay. The deeper mind hears all of this. The affirmations, the casual comments, the silent reactions, the emotional undercurrents. That is why it is powerful to choose words that match the reality you wish to inhabit. Speak of yourself as whole even in seasons of healing. Speak of your life as unfolding even when you cannot see the path. Shift the language of fear and control toward the language of allowing and unfolding. If there is only room for one phrase in a day, it might simply be, "Everything is unfolding in perfect timing, and I am exactly where I need to be." Said slowly, without rush, it carries the feeling of someone who is no longer fighting their own becoming. Pause again here. Notice how your body responds to that kind of language. From here, the exploration moves into what happens when you stop gripping outcomes and begin allowing life to meet you. There is a subtle turning point many people encounter a moment when they stop trying to make something happen through sheer effort and release their hold. It is not dramatic on the outside, but inside, the posture changes. Consider the story of a woman who longed for love, not the dramatic version, but a deep meeting of souls. She visualized, affirmed, and worked on herself for years. The pattern repeated. Either nothing arrived, or what did arrive did not stay. One night, tired of pushing, she simply whispered, "If love is for me, it will find me. And if not, I am enough as I am." Something within her softened. The need loosened. Joy began to return independent of any outcome. Only then did love appear in a way that felt natural, as though it had been waiting at the edge all along, needing her to stop searching so frantically and start living. Or the story of a man under heavy business pressure. Deals failing, clients leaving, money drying up. He read, affirmed, visualized, but underneath everything was a constant hum of fear. What if this doesn't work? That hum drowned the words he repeated. One day he looked upward and said, "I give this to something greater. I've done what I can. I surrender the outcome." From there, he stopped pushing and began listening. Within days, dormant opportunities stirred. New offers appeared. Closed doors reopened. Not because he exerted more control, but because he shifted out of desperation into a quieter peace. That state carried a different signal, and peace itself became magnetic. These stories point to a simple pattern. The deeper mind does not deliver what you say you want. It reflects who you are being. You can long for love and still broadcast loneliness. You can want money and still radiate fear. When you return to a sense of inner enoughness, not perfection, just a grounded, "I am already whole," you become a clear space for what you desire to land. This pattern repeats in many lives. The person who stops clinging to the need to conceive and unexpectedly becomes pregnant. The person who stops obsessing over job searches and while following joy meets the perfect opportunity. The writer who stops forcing words rests and then suddenly finds language flowing again. The teaching beneath these examples stays the same. Reality responds less to effort and more to alignment. When you release the how and stay honest with the what in a sincere way, your desire no longer has to struggle against your own control. It can move toward you in its own timing. To the mind, this can feel like a paradox. If you want something very deeply, let it go. If it truly belongs with you, It will come not at the moment of greatest need, but at the moment when you no longer need it to feel whole. The wanting remains, but the resistance dissolves. In that space, the so-called miracle arrives. You might be wondering how to recognize where you are still holding too tightly. You can gently ask, what am I pressing on with so much tension that it no longer feels like a blessing? What dream feels suffocated by my expectations? Loosening the grip does not mean indifference. It means, I trust this to find me when it is right. That trust has its own frequency. The deeper mind hears the difference between I need this or I am incomplete, and I am already complete, and I welcome what matches that truth. One is desperation, the other is quiet power. From this softening, another shift becomes possible. Living from the reality you feel within, rather than from the absence you see outside. There can come a day when you notice that something important has changed inside you, even if nothing has changed yet on the surface. The desire is still there, the vision remains, but the anxiety and obsession around it have fallen away. What is left is a kind of calm, a quiet recognition. I am already aligned with this. I do not have to chase what is already mine at the level of being. At that point, your role moves from seeker to participant in a reality that already exists within you. You are no longer using affirmations to fix yourself. You are using them to acknowledge yourself. You are no longer visualizing to get something. You are holding a picture of your own alignment. You are not meditating in order to reach peace. You are resting in a peace that is already present. This is where effort, as you once knew it, begins to end. Daily life continues, but you inhabit it differently. When you move as if your desire is already part of your reality, not pretending or acting, but simply settling into that state, you carry a particular resonance. The outside world begins to mirror that resonance, not because you have forced it, but because you have stopped sending mixed signals. Here, creation looks like action without strain, movement without fear. The endless question, when will it come, gives way to a quieter, thank you. It is already in motion. This inner knowing is often felt by others around you, even if they cannot name it. There is less proving and more ease. Joy is no longer held hostage by outcomes. Worth is no longer up for debate. You choose to stand as the version of yourself who already embodies what you seek, before the evidence appears. The evidence does not generate the state. The state invites the evidence. From here, simple adjustments in daily life carry a different charge. If you are waiting for meaningful work, you begin to show up with the energy of someone already engaged in valuable contribution. If you are waiting for a relationship, you treat yourself with the same care you hope to receive. If you are waiting for financial flow, you make choices with the quiet trust that provision arrives in its timing. The world starts to adjust to this inner stance. You are no longer trying to convince life to support you. You are no longer interrupting what is already underway. You are living less from memory and more from an inner sense of what is possible. Pause gently here. Notice if there is any area of your life that wants to be lived from already, instead of not yet. As this journey continues, a deeper realization emerges. You do not walk this path alone. There is an intelligence that beats your heart and breathes your lungs without your conscious effort. It organizes stars and seasons, repairs cells, and restores balance in countless unseen ways. You may call it subconscious, soul, God, or by no name at all. The label is less important than the living relationship with it. You may recognize times when you surrendered for a moment, and felt something shift times when you stopped living from fear and started walking in a quiet trust, letting go of timelines, insisting less on specific paths, and releasing the belief that you must personally control everything is not collapse. It is a different kind of participation. When the illusion of total control softens, you do not fall into chaos. You fall into a kind of grace. You start to act from intuition rather than from panic. Actions still happen, but they feel more like responses to an inner guidance than reactions to fear. The more you move this way, the more life seems to open. Some things arrive with less strain. Unexpected support appears. Instead of wrestling with circumstances, you find yourself moving with them. In that state, you are not only imagining or declaring, you are embodying. Your very presence becomes a kind of quiet affirmation. From here, it becomes natural to sense that you are already enough, already guided, already supported. Even when life is not perfect, doubt may still visit, but it does not define you. You return again and again to a kind of inner altar, a place of stillness you can feel rather than see. Over time, chasing and pleading lose their appeal. Proving yourself becomes less interesting. Allowing, aligning, and receiving become more natural. What is meant for you begins to feel less like a prize to win, and more like something that is already on its way. You might be wondering what all of this means for who you believe yourself to be. At some point, it becomes clear that this inner journey is not about becoming someone entirely new. It is about uncovering the self that existed before the noise, before the stories that said you had to hustle, beg, and prove your worth. You begin to see that you were never broken, never truly behind, never actually powerless. You were simply disconnected from the larger, quieter part of you. The work has been to remove what dulls that connection. The belief that only struggle makes you worthy. That chasing is the only way to reach what you desire. From this perspective, you are not here to pursue your dreams as if they were distant treasures. You are here to remember them as clues to what already lives within you. Love, success, healing, transformation, none of these require force. They become natural extensions of a life lived in alignment. Any words you hear or read can then serve as a mirror rather than a manual, a gentle reminder rather than a rigid set of rules. They stand beside you, not above you. They reflect a simple truth. You are the field where everything grows, the seed that holds the pattern, the light that warms the growth. There is no final step to reach. There is only the next breath, the next choice, the next small act of remembering. Whenever the world feels loud or your faith trembles, you can return to that remembrance. You are already it. You are already whole. You are already home. As this time together draws to a close, There is nothing you need to hold on to and nothing you need to figure out. Whatever touched you will remain, in its own way and in its own time. When the world becomes loud again, you can return not to these words, but to the stillness inside you that never left.